Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Classic Suit Superman. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collecting. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Like I said in my intro, we are going to be taking a look at the the Mezco 1/12 Collective Classic Suit Superman. Now, this is a figure that I have had my eye on for a while. I've seen it, but I just never really wanted to pull the trigger on it. But this year, I've gotten more into Mezco, and you know, I've gotten some Batmans. So I've been making my own custom Punishers and Daredevils, which you guys have seen before. But you know, I like to chalk this figure up to what I like to call paying my my Scott tax. I've got a really good friend here in town named Scott. He is a fantastic friend of mine. Love the guy to death. But every month, every 3 to 4 weeks, this guy, I tell you, he buys a figure and then he shares it with our local toy group. And then we have meetups. He lets me play with them. I get a chance to get these figures in hand. We meet up every couple of weeks and I get to see what he's like toting around in the car with him. And I got to tell you, he always influences me. He's such a bad influence on me. He's always like, hey, look at this awesome figure. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need it. And then I touch it and play with it and look at it. And I'm like, let me go on eBay real quick. But yes, so I did pick this up. It is Scott's fault. But I love him to death for it because he has turned me on to so many really good figures that otherwise I think I would have missed out on. So enough of me rambling. Let's get over to the review space and take a look at this awesome figure. I already know what I'm getting myself into, so that's why I can already say he's awesome. But let's check him out. All right, taking a closer look at the package here. He does come in a metal lunchbox cookie tin thing, which is great. It's got lots of artwork around of Superman all around the side. This is a really great box. One I'm not going to be able to bring myself to toss. Look at the back of that art. It looks great. It says up here, not a toy for children, intended for adult collectors only. I don't know if I'm an adult collector, but we're going to have fun with this guy. So let's go ahead and get him opened up. I just want to show you guys how he comes in the package and all of these clamshells. And he comes with a ton of stuff. You see all these different hands. He comes with a bunch of blast effects, 7 freaking heads, a whole bunch of what looks to be like kryptonite base here. Oh man, he just comes with so much stuff. I don't know how we're going to get through all this, but we're going to give it a shot. Here's the secondary tray. Looks like we've got some blast effects here at the top, some punching effects, Starro right here, the Black Mercy. We have his flight stand, a bag, and then of course the stand. Then there we have the base and the stand there at the bottom. But let's get all of this stuff opened up out of the plastic clamshells and see what he comes with. All right, starting off with the accessories, we do have this blast effect that fits into one of the heads. This is like his really powered up I-beam. We have a secondary I-beam here, which is really cool. It has this little effect piece that you can plug into the end if you want. You don't have to. You can just use it as little I-beams here. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. You can see how it looks like he's blasting, has this little blast effect here. You can't, like I said, just take them off and just use them straight as I-beams or chopsticks. Either one, if you guys want to use them for chopsticks. Here's Starro. He is looking great. He is not articulated. He has a slightly rubbery... Jesus! He has a slightly rubbery feel to him. He does clamp across the head, no problem, which is really cool. Here we have a couple of blast effects, or punching effects, I'm sorry. They do have a little split down the side, so you can open him up a little bit and get his fist all the way in there. Yep. Shouldn't have said that. But they do look nice. They're soft, pliable. Not going to tear up the sleeves of his suit. Here is the Black Mercy. Boy, these tentacles, some of these tentacles are very, very articulated and look very nice. Some of them are just, you know, kind of wrap around. Some of them actually have the wire inside, and they look great. This is a really cool piece. I'm really glad to have it. I think it's going to make for 1 or 2 really good shots, but other than that, it's going to stay in the the accessory bin. Here is the Phantom Zone projector. I love this little jewel here on the front. This thing looks really nice. I dig the design of it, but again, I don't know if I'm going to be using it in my display. He does come with 3 of these bullet ricochet effects, and they are magnetized, and they magnetize to his chest, which is really cool. I'll show that off here in a little bit. And then turning our attention to the rest of his accessories, he does come with several of these kryptonite shards. Some of them are, we have a blue one, a green one. I clearly cannot hold on to things today. These look like jelly beans. Maybe this is, something in the warning says don't eat these, but they do look tasty. Here we have the display base. We're going to just plug each one of these in. They're all on like a little round plug, so you can kind of put them wherever you want. Doesn't really matter. It's your display. Display it how you want. However, that center piece, it is keyed. You can't just put this in any way. It's got like a D shape plug. And so, yep, I said that too. Man, this is not going very well. Then you get 4 of these little capsules that go over each one of the smaller kryptonite pieces. They plug in really nicely. I don't think I'm pushing them down all the way because I don't want to have a hard time getting them out. But there we have one larger that goes over the center kryptonite piece. Whatever, we'll just push them all down, and it looks really nice. This is going to make a really nice display if you have a Fortress of Solitude, or you can play Trouble with it. Here is flight stand. It looks really nice, has that classic Superman logo on it, and it does have the industry's best action figure stand. Then as far as the hands go, we have 2 punching fists on him in the package, 2 gripping hands right here for holding the Phantom Zone projector. We have 2 like gripping, grabbing, angry hands. Angry hands? Can hands be angry? If you can have happy feet, you can have angry hands. Here we have 2 gesturing hands, which looks really nice, kind of more open gesturing hands. And then here we have, 2 flight hands, because like Spider-Man with whip hands, what's Superman without his flight hands? You got to have those. And then here we have the different heads. So let's take a closer look at each one individually. Here we have just a regular, smiling Superman. It looks very classic. I'm digging it. Then we have a smirking, slightly more mischievous looking Superman. You can tell by the eyebrows. They're a little more angled down. There are 3 words. I'm trying to find one of them. And then you can tell that's a little different there. Then we have more of a stern looking face. He's kind of ticked off a little bit, maybe somebody stepped on his cape. And then we have a more angrier face. You can see his teeth are exposed a little bit, and he's kind of looking up in awe at what's going on. He can't believe what he's seeing. And then we have his super angry, ticked off face, like he is ready to power up and go to town. I really dig this face. It looks great. So many options. So many options. Then we have this Nightmare Fuel. This is for the blast effects. So you can plug them in straight into the eyes. And once they're plugged in, you can't really see anything weird. It just looks like another head sculpt. But there's what the eye beams look like without the little end piece. And again, let's see if we can do this on camera. There we have it, and that's what it looks like. So the more controlled beams, that's what they look like plugged in. I'm trying to keep this turned away from the camera so you don't look right at it. And then there's the more powered up eye beams, which look fantastic, and they're very sturdy. They don't feel like they're weighting the head down at all. But there you have it. Yeah, don't look directly at it, please don't. And then here we have the eyes that actually light up. You get this little piece here. There's a little switch in there. You need this little thing right here to activate the eyes, and these eyes light up. So you've got these powered up eyes. And I will tell you that the batteries are super tiny. They are so tiny. Be very careful. I dropped one on the floor. Thankfully, I don't have carpet, and I didn't lose it. But they are a pain to put in. They don't go in the way you think they do. That's all I'm going to say. Whatever way you've put them in, you're wrong. You're going to have to put them in twice or 3 times, just like a USB cable. All right, so taking a closer look at Soups himself, boy, he is fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and get the one thing that I don't like about this figure out of the way right off the bat, because the rest I'm going to gush all over this figure. But the one thing that I am not happy with is this S on his chest. For one, it's really small. I don't dig it. It's too small. And also, my biggest gripe is that it doesn't look like the promo pics. As you can see here in the promo pics, it was nice and big and large. It didn't have the black line around it. It had a more like orangish yellow tone to the yellow. This could have been a prototype. It could have been photoshopped. I'm not sure. I would have preferred this S on the chest than this one, the one that we got. But it is very reminiscent of the old like Superpowers, Kenner Superpower Superman, so I'm going to be okay with that. I do like the S on the back of his cape. I think it looks great. I love the softness of this entire figure. The cape is very soft. There's some really nice wires that hold the cape up, that hold his shape really nicely. The suit is very soft. Everything has this velvety, silky kind of touch to it. It's very soft, although the figure underneath is very hard and rigid. There's just a soft feel to this guy. He has really good hand feel, if that's a thing that I can say. I like that the cape is tucked in and sewn right here only at the front. It's not sewn all the way around, so it's loose in the back as it should be, which I really dig. I think that's really nice, and I love the proportions of this guy. I think he looks great. As far as articulation goes, these heads want to pop off. He can look up about that far before you pop the head off, which is not bad. You got to be able to look up really high for a Superman figure. He can look down very well. He's got lots of tilt, lots of articulation and bobble on this head, and you got to be careful because it will pop off. I feel like it's going to pop off any second. You do have an extra articulation point down at the neck with a little bit of movement, not a lot. The arms are super well articulated. They're on this very sturdy, very stiff ball joint, which is great, and get up a little bit higher than a T-pose. You can rotate all the way around, and that smooth, silky suit's just going to slide right out of the way. It was a lot of S's. Congrats to me. Shout out to my vocabulary. There is no upper bicep swivel. Or wait a minute, let me see here. There's no butterfly joints, what I'm trying to say. There is an upper bicep swivel. No butterfly joint, upper bicep swivel. We are double jointed at the elbows, which is great. You get a really good range of motion there. There's no hinge at the elbow because of that double joint. And then the wrists are on a like a hinge and a swivel, so a little ball joint there, so you can kind of move those hands all the way around. If you want to reposition that swivel point, you can. As far as his abdomen and chest, he has an upper torso articulation point, and he does have a lower articulation point, so you can actually bend him forward about that far, which looks great. You can lean him back really far, and if there is a gap, we can't see it, but it really pulls out his chest and his ab muscles, and it looks great for those flight poses. I mean, that right there is just fantastic. He looks really, really good, leaned all the way back. You can rotate at the waist about that far to the right and about this far to the left. The legs do not have a drop down, but they do have an upper thigh cut, which is really good. He can kick all the way forward that far. He can kick out to the side about that far, and he can only go back about that far, which is not bad at all, considering it runs into his super booty. He does have double jointed knees, which is great, so you can get some really nice flight poses for that. No knee or upper boot swivel at all, and he does have a very nice foot articulation. He's got a rocker, a forward facing pin, so you're gonna get that rocker, not much of a swivel, and then a little bit of up and down, and man, he just looks really, really good. I want to see how easy it is to pop these hands off, and yep, they pop off really easy, and then they pop on really nice. I mean, come on, man, come on. That thing just looks so good. He poses so well. I feel like I could just pose this guy all day long. Get a knee bent, foot down. You can get that classic Superman flight pose, no problem. Man, he's looking really, really, really good. Let's see if we can get him into a nice little, like, action pose here. He just super slapped somebody in the face. He's like, stop it, or I slap you again. Let's see here, and he feels so good in hand. I just want to let's get another fist back on there, and see, like, these heads pop off really easy, and I guess that's a good thing because you don't want to like be struggling with the neck or the head and then like mess up the suit or anything. The little wire in there does hold very well. I wish it was wired all the way around because you don't really get a ton of like windswept look really, because it just kind of falls and collapses down on itself. I will say the wires are stiff and they do a really good job, and I like it. I just wish it was more wired. You can pop Starro on there, no problem, and it holds very well. I dig that. And then let's see here. Let's put the chest piece on, and that looks That looks great. The Black Mercy wrapping around here. Like I said, some of these tentacles you could just wrap around his neck or his wrists or whatever. And then some are actually bendy. So that's really cool. I dig that a lot. Yeah, let's try one of the punching poses here. So let's get that on. Yeah, it does kind of look like he's got ice crystals on his hand, but you know, you do get that really nice punching effect. Again, I'm not sure I'll even use these on my shelf. And then let's get this hand on here because I want to see what it looks like with him holding the Phantom Zone projector. Let's see if we can do this and get the hand in here. Can I do this? Man, nope. Let's do it like this. Oh, this handle is very thin. It doesn't feel brittle, but I also don't want to snap it just futzing around with it. Thankfully, the hands are very rubbery, so you do get a lot of play there. And there you have it. It looks really nice. That looks really cool. Again, I just don't think I'm going to be using it in my display, but it is really cool that he comes with it. Just a bunch of added value. Could they have removed some of these accessories and sold this figure for around $100? Yes, they could have, but look, I'm not complaining. He came out fantastic. All right, I do want to show off how these bullet ricochet pieces work. They have little magnets in them, and his chest is magnetized, so they just pop on. You can kind of put them wherever you want, and they look very nice, and they just pop right on there. And I think that is fantastic and a great way to do these ricochet effects. They just look neat. What a brilliant idea. All right, so let's get him into some standing up and down next to some other Superman figures. Here we have a McFarlane Toys Hush Superman, so he's going to stand more on that 7-inch scale. Here we have the Mafex Hush Superman as well, and they're pretty. I mean, the Mezco Superman is just a hair taller, you know, just a Superman curl taller than the Hush, Mafex Hush. Here he is next to my original, like, Superman, Kenner Superpowers Superman I had when I was a kid. Here's my current favorite Superman figure, the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman, and they kind of stand toe-to-toe. But I think everybody, including myself, want to know how he's going to stack up next to the classic suit Batman, and they look fantastic together. These guys definitely will go on my shelf together just like this. So let's get some accessories on him. Let's get him decked out with some of his heads and hands and see how he poses up. I gotta tell you, I really, really, really dig this figure. This is a stellar release. Is it worth $125? I say yes. I think it is definitely worth the price they are asking. Could they have dialed it back a little bit, charged a little bit yet less? I do think so, but I think you're getting a lot of toy for what you are paying for here. The price that you're paying. 7 heads is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I have ever in my life gotten a figure with 7 different heads on it before. That's just absolutely insane. I think all the accessories that he comes with are great, although I believe most of them will probably just stay in the box because he's going to be in a flight pose next to my classic suits Batman on my shelf. But otherwise, I think he's absolutely fantastic. I've said it before, I've said it again. I paid the Scott tax on this one. He definitely changed my mind on it. When I first saw it, I was like, nope, looks like Amigo, not going there. Then I saw his, I was like, ooh, he looks good. Then I got to play with it, and I was like, I gotta have it. And literally the day that I saw it, I was like, yep. The next day, I was like, yeah, I gotta have that. I gotta go get it. So I did. I picked it up from Big Bad Toy Store. And the cool thing is you can use Sezzle on Big Bad Toy Store and get them in payments of like 4. You can break up the payments. You don't have to pay it all at once. And so that helps if you're into that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the Super Toy Hour.